What's going on, everybody? Curtis Wilkerson here with Inside Arkansas on the Pod at the Palace, coming to you from the Convention Center in Pine Bluff. Just wrapped up the Razorback basketball tip-off tour here in Pine Bluff. A really good time. First of all, just a great event. Love that they're doing this. Love that John Calipari is embracing the other areas of the state, really hammering home the idea that this is your team, Arkansas, the state's team, not just Fayetteville, but reaching out to different places. They did this in Hot Springs yesterday, did it in Pine Bluff today. Just very cool. The Samaritan Feet thing, just a great cause, passing out a bunch of free shoes, and this was cool. I thought they made a really good deal for the family, for the kiddos, had them out there doing some tic-tac-toe games and some blindfold stuff, and interacting with the players, and having them be representing the kids with half-court shots to win a pair of tickets to the Kansas exhibition. Shout out to Carter Knox for knocking down the half-courter there, but just a really good time, man. And honestly, if you were expecting the full-on red-white game experience, that's not what this was. That's not what it was about. This was more of an exhibition, a get-to-know the team type of event, and then quite frankly, it was a practice, man, more than anything. And so for a basketball nerd like me, it was awesome because could really kind of get an idea of what Arkansas is working on, what they're emphasizing, the stuff that they're being detail-oriented about, which was cool. But if you were coming here looking for a lot of up and down and oohs and ahs and highlight reel plays, that probably wasn't what you were going to get. And so you might be like, I don't know about that. But for me, it was cool. And it was awesome to get a first look at these guys and get an opening impression of the Razorbacks. And I got to tell you, the big thing that stood out to me right off the jump, these guys got to get healthy, man. No Jonas Adu. I'm told that he's actually, he's been in and out most of the summer. If there was a game today, he would have been cleared to play. He did some things, did some warm-ups, did some drills, did some shooting. But honestly, he did a little bit of 5-on-0 work, and I think you could tell he was a guy that hasn't been out there that much. So maybe a little bit behind on the offense. He's going to be an anchor on your front court. Need to get him in there. Nelly Davis, a guy who's walking around, looks like he's got a brace or a cast or something on his hand. Doesn't seem like anything serious or anything long-term, but he's your best player probably in the backcourt. He wasn't out there. Adut Thiero was limited, only did kind of the same stuff that Jonas Adu did. Some warm-up stuff, some of the light drills, some of the 5-on-0 work, but nothing really in the live department. 3 of your best players. So the dynamic for Arkansas completely shifts when you got all 3 of those guys in the game or out there on the floor. But what it did do was, one, it offers a lot of reps for the other guys. I think about those 3 freshmen and the development they've received as a result of some other guys, older guys, being in and out. How good has this been for Bookie Flan and Carter Knox and Billy Richmond? I think it's been absolutely huge for their development. So when these other guys get back, you're going to be that much better for it. Some first impression stuff. A John Calipari practice is not like an Eric Musselman practice. Eric Musselman, their pace was frantic. It was frenetic. It was high-paced, loud, a lot of energy. This not so much, but there was more coaching. There was more teaching. There was more attention to detail. John Calipari, he's a laid-back dude out there, but he does not let much slide, man. If they screwed something up, he let them know about it, then he was grabbing the mic and telling the people in the stands what the coaching points, the teaching points were. Heavy emphasis on playing fast, sharing the basketball, a lot of open floor work, transition drills. They weren't able to scrimmage live because honestly they don't have enough healthy bodies right now. So it was a group of about 7 or 8 top guys who were mixing it in against some of the walk-ons and then the GAs who, hey, listen, the managers, they won the manager game championship, so it's some good competition out there, okay? But a good time. I think that well, let's see. Let's go through some players who were out there. Let's start with the freshman, Boogie Flan. The dude is absolutely electric. First of all, he's bigger than I thought he was. Always just kind of under the impression that he was just kind of a smaller built, smaller frame guard. No, not at all. And I mean, he's taller, so I think he's probably every bit of that 6'2"-ish. And he's also thicker. He's got some meat on his bones. He's not just a skinny kid out there. Really smooth. There's a certain amount of electric to his game when he's out there. And I know that Arkansas has some other really good guards. I know that John L. Davis is coming back, but I have a hard time imagining a starting lineup that doesn't have Boogie Flan in it. We'll see. If he's coming off the bench, you're really good. And something that Calipari mentioned afterwards was what this has done is allowed Boogie Flan and DJ Wagner to share the backcourt together when they had just been competing on opposite ends at the point guard position. So I like that because I do think those guys can play together, and it does open up some things that you could do with him, DJ, and Nelly Davis as a kind of a 3-guard lineup. I like it. Billy Richmond, I'm owning it, man. My mailbag went out for Billy Richmond today, and he was one of the guys where I said, listen, I hope that I'm coming back talking after this tip-off tour and saying, hey, this is a dude that maybe I was too low on. He's better than I thought. I do believe that. I really do. Got to work on the shot. It's a little bit flat. It's a little bit inconsistent at times. But, man, he got on a heater there late in the practice, and he looked really good. But he brings so much other stuff to the table. He's super fast, athletic, explosive is the word to describe Billy Richmond for sure. He covers a lot of ground in a hurry. He is a big problem in transition as advertised, but when he gets the ball in his hands and he's attacking, they were doing some one-on-one stuff between the guards. He's hard to handle, man, because he covers a lot of ground in just a couple steps because he's so freaking long and he plays above the rim. Really like him as a basket cutter as well. Carter Knox, very interesting. Heard some good stuff about him in terms of the confidence that he's built over the course of the summer and the preseason. Kind of a different player with a different body and a different mindset. He was the first guy out here on the floor, and he was the only guy on one end by himself. The other guys were on the other end warming up, and Carter Knox was down on this end of the floor where I'm sitting right now, working religiously with Brad Calipari. Just so much attention to detail on shooting mechanics, form, footwork, off the dribble, squaring your shoulders, rep after rep after rep after rep. And he's automatic in that setting. He had his moments in the live action where he was knocking down threes and stepping into the jumpers. But the reason he's putting in so many reps now is so that it becomes repeatable in a game. Really happy with the work ethic that I saw from him out here. I'm high on these 3 freshmen now. DJ Wagner, just a smooth operator. He really is. I thought he shined the most in the 5-on-5 action compared to the drill work, but I did sit down there and count him out for a long time shooting threes. He shot better than 29% in that setting. Short arms it sometimes in the live action stuff, but man, when he gets downhill and finishing around the rim and just the way he runs the offense and runs within the flow of the offense, whether he's on ball or off the ball, he just seems like he's under control, playing with a lot of confidence, good pace, more explosive than I thought. I saw him dunk a basketball a few times. Not that he's a full-on below-rim player, but he's not a guy that you think of highlight reel dunks. He's more of a power bully guard. But hey, he got up and finished it a couple times in there, so I was happy to see that. I think Trevor Brazil looks really good. He looks super comfortable out there. I know that he is working on other things, but he's shooting the crap out of it from 3. Looks confident. Just looks. He kind of looks like a different player. I think that this fresh start was really good for him. Doing some good things out there. Looks a little bit more aggressive, and again, it was just kind of a limited practice setting, so we don't know too much, and Adu's not out there. He wasn't going up against Big Z a ton, but like what I saw out of him, and honestly, I like that he appreciated the moment and understood it. You're having a practice, you're going through drills, but there's a lot of kids here who are watching and excited, so if he got an opportunity to dunk one, he'd dunk it, get the crowd going. He had a nasty windmill in 5-on-5 action in traffic in the half court where I was like, whoa, that explosion is fully back for him, so that was good to see. Who have I missed? Big Z, yeah, I love Big Z. He cannot be much shorter than Connor Vanover, but man, he carries his body, his weight a lot better. He moves a lot better. He doesn't run like a deer out there at that size, but for a dude who's 7'2", 245, 250, he can really move well out there. So was happy to see that. Love him shooting that corner 3, but I was trying to see like what else does he bring to the table. Really good passer, man, at the high post and dribble handoff action, really dropping some dimes. The best lineup that Arkansas had out there that I saw today that I thought was Boogie Flan, DJ Wagner, Carter Knox, and then TB and Big Z sharing the front court. That group was getting it done. The ball was moving. It was flying. A lot of spacing because both those front court guys can dribble, pass, and shoot. And it opened up lanes for those guards to drive, and they were doing it. Big, heavy emphasis on hey, shoot all the threes you want, but we want to paint touch before we're taking a shot, and that group I thought did it. And Z was dropping some dimes. Him and Carter Knox have a good connection going where, Big Z, if he faces up around that elbow, Carter Knox cuts from the weak side wing. Got a couple nice buckets there. It was good to see. And Big Z did get one post-up opportunity, one-on-one, mano-a-mano, and went to work, showed some nice footwork, a nice over the right shoulder, soft touch. I guess it was over the left shoulder, actually. But that's good to see. A little back to the basket game. Caught a couple lobs. So, first impressions as far as that goes, was pretty happy and pleased with what I saw. Jaden Carlette, well, I got to give him a shout out, man, because he was kind of the unknown guy who was one of those, the other guys who was brought into the mix. I think he's perfect for his role. He doesn't miss from three very often at all in drill work. Gets after it. He's a high effort, high energy guy, really works and competes defensively. He pushes the other guys. And he was getting some buckets on some of the better players on this roster when they were going one-on-one against the guards. So not as talented. No, I don't think he's going to be a rotation guy, but he's somebody who's going to make them better in practice for sure. So all in all, it was a good night. Really enjoyed it, and honestly, more than anything, it just feels good to be back watching some Razorback basketball again. I've missed it. It's been too long. The season ended too soon last year. I mean, we're at the SEC tournament, 2 games in, and it's been that long since we've seen these guys play. So it was nice to be back out here. I think it's going to be a really good team when they get healthy, and they need to get healthy. And one of the things that Coach Cal was asked about is, okay, you're missing these guys right now. You say you're holding them out for precaution. Are they going to be back for Kansas? Are you confident in that? And he didn't take the bait. He said, we'll see. We hope so, but I'm not going to push them. And if they're not ready and I feel like they need a few more days, we'll give them that. So at least, an eyebrow raise to keep an eye on it because at full strength, I think this group is going to be a lot of fun to watch. But appreciate everybody for tuning in. Make sure that you tap into the YouTube channel. I know we've already got some highlights from it out, so you can go back and watch it yourself. I'm probably going to run it back and do a little bit of commentary on that to provide some context with what I saw with the highlights. We got John Calipari's press conference up. We got a written story up, so make sure you check us out over at Inside Arkansas. And I got to get out of here because we got to get in the car, John, Andrew, and myself, and we're heading to Birmingham, SEC Media Days. We're looking forward to it. Normal Inside Arkansas Live tomorrow on Monday after the Sam Pittman press conference. Tuesday, we're going to be on site, SEC Media Day. We got John Calipari, we got Nellie Davis, we got Adut Thiero. It's going to be a lot of fun. We're going to talk to a lot of people and get a feel about Arkansas. The AP poll, top 25, comes out tomorrow. Where are the Hogs going to be ranked? Top 15, we thinking? The All-SEC poll comes out the next day. Where we think the Hogs are going to be? Top 4 in the SEC? Who's going to get those All-SEC preseason nods? Nelly? Jonas Adu? Anybody going to sneak in there? It's a good time to be excited about all of Arkansas athletics. I mean, we got this huge-ass football game with LSU coming up that everybody's pumped about, but you can still find time to be excited about what's coming for Arkansas basketball. John Calipari is your head coach. This is insane, and it's finally getting real. They got a good team, and it's going to be a lot of fun. So I'm out of here. Appreciate you guys. It's been Curtis Wilkerson with Inside Arkansas and the Pod at the Palace, and we'll talk to you real soon. Everybody have a good one. Thank you.